Store Bloody Nation. How the devil are you? So this is my favorite time of the quarter, the quarterly figures. I am going to give you a quick rundown of what happened in the quarter. And the first time in history, I'm going to get straight to the punchline. First time in history of Stormore, we are dead even on square foot moved in, square foot moved out. Never happened before that we are net zero for the quarter. Unbelievable. So let's get into it then. So the quarterly figures. I really, really love doing this. And it is something that I think we should all do. I think we should really, really look at the quarterly figures and analyze them exactly as how we're doing, where we're trending. Is it trending in a good way? Is it trending in a bad way? Because we can't make decisions based on short-term results. We can, however, make decisions based on long-term results, and we can see the trajectory of the company. We can see what happened this quarter versus last quarter, and for me, it's so fascinating to look at that because we can think we understand the situation on a day by day. But if I had 10 self-storage companies, businesses, facilities, I wouldn't have time to look at every single in and out and worry about it so much on a daily basis. That is what I'm hopefully getting to. By the way, we are closing the sale of a self-storage facility in Wrexham next Friday. So it is sale day next Friday, a week today. Wonderful, wonderful news. Really, really excited about it. And I can tell you more about it then. Obviously, I don't think I've said the name, but I'm going to tell you the ins, the outs, the deal, everything about it, and I'm going to lay out exactly what I want to achieve with it. Also, next week, we hope to have MrSelfStorage.com live, and that is where I am going to be showing you all the report. Every single report I get, I'll be putting on there. All the documents, every single day, it will be going on there in a newsletter and sent out to every single person who wants to be part of it. Because what I want to do is I want to document my journey to a 9-figure exit, which means over £100 million exit. And I want to do it. I ain't putting any time restraints on it, but I want to get to a 9-figure exit for this self-storage. Do I want to sell or not? That is a question people keep asking me. I don't know, but I want the option to sell for 9 figures if I want. Do I want to pass it down to my kids? I don't know, because if you give them too much, they're not become resourceful, they're not become resilient, and therefore they don't learn themselves, and then their kids won't know what it's like. I don't know. But either way, I want to document my journey from 9 figures. So at the minute, we're a piggly little company making EBITDA is nearly 500 grand. And piggly little company. We're not a piggly little company, but we started at a piggly little company. And so I want to document the whole thing. Obviously, I've been documenting for years on this podcast, and you've been watching the growth with me, which has been fantastic. I love it. But I want something in written form as well. And I want the ability for my kids to go through and think, okay, what was happening this month? How did they do this month? And I want the ability to show them. I want the ability to show them exactly what happened. And so I've got spreadsheets to galore that we'll be sharing on that. And anybody can go on that, MrSelfStorage.com. I'm not bothered about sharing the information. I want to share the information because I want to help people in a couple of runs of a ladder below me, or even people above me, to show exactly how we do things and how we structure things. And moving forward, I think that will be really, really exciting, and it'll be valuable for myself as well. I'll be putting highlights down on marketing books I'm reading, courses I'm taking, what I'm doing, the thoughts, I'm going to have a bar, like the fear factor of the industry. How do I think the industry is going? So we'll be having loads of great stuff on there, loads of great content, and it'll be a daily thing that I am going to be doing personally. So yeah, really, really excited about that. Right, so let's jump into these quarterly figures. And by the way, I've just been designing with some designers on 99designs.com. I think it's 99designs.com. Anyway, 99designs. A mascot, brilliant, absolutely wonderful. And by the way, yes, we are copying the Milk Road. Sean's Milk Road, My First Million, best podcast in the world. He had the Milk Road for 10 months, crypto newsletter, and he sold it within 10 months for millions. It was brilliant. And by the way, obviously, I won't be able to sell this newsletter because it's based on me and my self-storage and my journey. So it's worthless to anybody else. Right, so here we go. So quarter 4. Let's start with the money. We want to know the money, don't we? We want to know how much we've taken. So on true period revenue, I always do it on true period revenue. So true period revenue is the invoiced amount specifically in them dates. So if somebody had 20 days of, so this is October, November, December. So if somebody had 20 days of September and 8 days of October in the invoice, so it's 28-day invoice, it would only count 8 days for this period. So it would only count 8 days so it counts precisely October, November, December, just them days that are in that month that's been invoiced. That's it. And so it was, I can officially say, the most ever we've ever invoiced. We invoiced £250,000. This is, by the way, this is just at Stormore Willoughby. We're not doing anything else. We're not doing any. I do I have the data for? Anyway, I don't know. I'm sure I do somewhere. Yeah, I will be able to get the data, but we don't have it on this spreadsheet here that I'm looking at. So this is just for Willoughby. We invoiced £250,000. Now, that is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Never, ever seen anything like it before. In Q4 2021, we invoiced 221,171. So that's an increase of £4,268 from the same quarter the previous year. So you'd expect us to take more money year on year. However, let's not forget 21, we were still riding high because of what happened with COVID. So we're still getting the COVID bump, the bounce from COVID. So in Q3 2022, we took a similar amount, but we still took more this quarter. I think it's very, very important to celebrate the wins. So in Q3 2022, we took £22,810.82. And in this quarter, obviously, we took £225,440.17. So we took an increased amount of £629.35. It's not a lot, but it's still the most we've ever taken. Just to give you some context of what COVID bounce we had. So in Q4 2021, we took 221k. I'm not going to get into the pennies and pence because it's irrelevant, right? So remember that figure, 221k in Q4 2021. In Q4 2020, we took £155,000. So there was a £65,000 uplift. 65. The exact figure is £65,554. So from Q4 2020 to Q4 2021, there was a £65,000 uplift in one quarter. That is incredible in revenue just at Willoughby. If we play that out over 4 quarters, you are talking 260 grand. Over £250,000 increase in 1 year. Fuckety fuck for who? That is incredible. Absolutely incredible data. And so we can bitch, we can moan, we can get upset about what happened in December, what's happened in January, but the facts are the facts are the facts. Last quarter, we crushed it. Now, Q1, so if we look at this is beautiful. So in Q4 2021, we took 221k, as you know. In Q1 2022, so the next quarter, so it's telling you what we took this quarter right now, the first quarter of the year, last year, it only was 211,000. So it actually decreased 10 grand. So from Q4 to Q1, it decreased £10,000 in true period revenue into this time last year. So we know based on historical data, and we can check it again. So if we look at Q4 2020, it was 155,000. Oh, it's COVID bump. It's a COVID bump. Obviously, 2021 Q1 was incredible. So we can't really use that, but we can use historical data for last year. Listen, in Q1, we take less money than Q4. That is historically what's happened with us, and I think it'll be the same again. Because obviously we've lost loads of square foot this quarter, this month alone. All right, let's get looking at the quotes. Now, obviously, the quotes we can't compare because we're showing prices online. So we're showing the prices online, which means when we do get a quote, the main objection, well, 2 main objections is the location and the price. Them 2 objections have been solved because otherwise they won't get in touch with us. They know the location and they know the price, so they wouldn't actually get in contact with us. So you'd expect a massive conversion rate. In fact, bigger than what we've got now. So the conversion rate isn't particularly good. So we had 166 quotes based on the same quarter last year. We had 571. So we can't base it on that. What we can do though is look at the reservations. So we took 122 reservations last quarter. That is a 73% conversion rate, quotes, to reservations. We had 114 move-ins. So that is a 69% conversion from quotes to move-ins. We moved in 13,770 square foot. Now, remember, we were showing prices this time. So what do? We compare it to the previous year, quarter 4, 2021. But hang about a minute, Dean. We can't really make an accurate comparison. We can't compare accurately. Freaking hell. Because it was COVID. So we can't compare like for like. So we've got to bear that in mind, that it was COVID. We had a COVID bump in quarter 4 last year because it was flip-flopped. The housing market was going mental. And so we can't really compare it. What we can do is look back before COVID. So let's bear it in mind. It was COVID last year. Let's have a compare. Let's compare. Let's take a look, just a little look. So in quarter 1, 2021, we did 195 reservations, and in quarter 4, 2022, we did 122 reservations. So 73 reservations different. So not great. And then look at the move-ins. We did 163 move-ins in quarter 4 and 2021, and 114 move-ins in 2022 quarter 4. So there is a big difference there. Is that 49 difference? So there is a big, is it 49, 51? Anyway, there's a big difference there. But like I said, it was COVID. Let's look at square foot moved in. We took 13,770 in quarter 4, 2022. The previous year, for the same quarter, it was 17,905. So there was 4,200 square foot more moved in. However, if we look at the move outs, there was 20,000 square foot moved out in quarter 4, 2021. I know I'm saying all these numbers and words and stuff, and quarter 4, 2022, quarter 4, it's hard to keep up. I get it. But in quarter 4, 2022, this last year, it was 13,000. So although we moved more in last quarter, we kept more of it because we were dead even this quarter. Last year, the same quarter 4, for the previous year, we actually lost 2,265 square foot. Right. So and by the way, in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5 years of data for the quarters, the same quarter, we have only ever been up 1 quarter for quarter 4s. All the other quarter 4s have been negative. And that was in 2020. Absolute COVID. And it was 2,420 square foot that we grew by in quarter 4, 2020. But I don't think in my lifetime we'll ever see anything quite like quarter 4 again, 2020, because it was mental. It was maybe we will, but it was just crazy. It was crazy the amount of quotes we was getting. We got 529 quotes, 148 reservations. Mind you, we actually moved more in quarter 4, 2021. It's just that we moved out less. Anyway, so it was really good results in quarter 4, 2020. I think we gained 7,000. We gained a lot of square foot anyway that year. So it was really, really good. So if we look at a quarter 4 that we can compare it to, is quarter 4, 2019, because that is when we didn't have COVID. So pre-COVID, the last quarter 4 that we had pre-COVID was 2019. So you can look at these figures, and really with figures, you can look at it and you can make judgments and you can make an argument to say that, well, you can use figures to make an argument to say whatever you want, because you can look at it in certain lights. Because part of me is thinking, well, clearly showing prices doesn't work, because look at last quarter. Look at like the previous year's quarter 4. We was miles better not showing prices than we was showing prices here. But then there's other factors. There's COVID, and so it's very, very hard to base an accurate. To get an accurate proof of what works and what doesn't. So in quarter 4, 2019, we had 351 quotes. Don't forget, was hiding our prices then. We only had 106 reservations. So that was 16 less than in 2022 quarter 4. We had 93 move-ins and we had 114 move-ins That was in quarter 4, 2019. We had 93 move-ins, and the last quarter, 2022, quarter 4, we had 114 move-ins. So that means it was 21 move-ins more this quarter than 2019. We only moved in 8,945 square foot. And this quarter, for 2022, that was in 2019, we moved in 13,770. So a bloody shitloads more, nearly 5,000 square foot more in that quarter. We moved out a lot less, by the way. We moved out 11,360. Now, do you expect the longer you've been around, the more reputation you've got, do you expect to be busier? Possibly. Are you higher up on Google rankings? Possibly. Have you got more social proof? Yes. Does that mean it convinces more people? Possibly. So all these factors again go into it. So you'd expect probably to be busier year on year. People know you're there. People didn't know you was there before. So there was all these different factors that we can analyze and look at. And let's just, the last thing we're going to look at is how does it compare to quarter 3, 2022? So how does it compare to the exact previous quarter, this quarter 4, 2022 to quarter 3, 2022? Well, again, we were showing prices in quarter 4. We wasn't showing prices in quarter 3. So you'd expect the quotes to be more, and they are. We had 451 quotes. We had 149 reservations. So that was 27 more reservations in quarter 3. Move-ins, we had 138. So that's 24 more move-ins than we had in quarter 4. So quarter 3, we had 138 move-ins. Quarter 4, we had 114 move-ins. So that was 24 more move-ins. In terms of square foot, we moved in 15,500 in quarter 3, 2022. And quarter 4, we moved in 13,770. We moved out 15,665. And we moved out 13,770 in quarter 4. The net position is quarter 3, we was down 165 square foot. And quarter 4, we was absolute bang on even. All them figures, you'd expect it to be like that. You'd expect quarter 3 to be more move-ins than quarter 4. You'd expect that. You'd expect more reservations. You'd expect more quotes because of the market. The market is the market is the market. The one surprise for me is how many move-outs we had. We only had 13,000 move-outs, which for quarter 4 is outstanding. I really do think it's outstanding that. So really, overall, the quarter was a massive, massive success. I think all things being equal, I think it was a success to be level. The problem is, at the start of a quarter, if you just told me to be level at quarter 4, I'd have said, yes, brilliant, I'll take it. But if you'd have said we'd have been level after October, I'd have said, no fucking chance. We're 1,500 square foot, 1,700 square foot, whatever it was, we're going to be a positive quarter. And obviously it wasn't. So it depends on what time in the quarter you ask me. But overall, I don't think you can complain. I think that we're doom and gloom and stuff because we had a bad December. We had a really bad December. We were having a really bad January. But taking a step back and taking an aerial view, which we've always got to do with businesses, then it isn't that bad. In fact, it's good. It really is good. So there we go. There's my quarter analysis. What I'll do is I'll do analysis for Beverley and for Clough Road as well. And get them on. I'll do it all in one podcast on them too. So I'll run through them really, really quickly. Yeah. All right, my friends. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sticking by me with them numbers. I actually do have a little bit of a headache going quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2, 2020, 2021. I do have a headache. It's took it out of me. All right, my friends. Hope you appreciate me sharing all these numbers and the data. I love it. I fucking love it. All right, my friends. Love you. I appreciate you. And roll on next Friday when we close on our first ever acquisition. Plenty more where that came from. And by the way, if you have been in touch with me and waiting for me to get back to you regarding your business, we've been so busy. I'm really sorry. I have like 30 businesses to get in touch with for self-storage. Everybody seems to want to sell, which is great. But the price that people are asking is way too much for a single. I mean, some people are wanting like 10 times multiple, 8 times multiple, 7 times multiple, 6 times multiple for single places, which is just mental for one facility. I mean, you get more multiples the more of a group you get. You definitely, the way business works. but not for one. So that's a message to you guys out there. I'm like Pep Guardiola when he does his speech afterwards to the cameras, where he wants to get a message to his team, his players, and he speaks directly to the media to get the message out. And so I'm kind of like getting my message out saying, some people are too dear. And so obviously, and by the way, it's I'm going to want to buy for one price. They're going to want to sell for one price. It's if we can meet in the middle. If we can both be satisfactorily unhappy, both of us satisfactorily, and that's the thing. And why wouldn't people want a good deal for the business? But if you want to sell, then people have got to be realistic. Anyway, so we're going to send out another batch of letters as well, probably in February. Maybe March. Hopefully we can get a couple more deals across the line before we wrap up for this until the back end of the year, and then on board the 2 or 3 extra ones we buy, and then go from there. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.